Welcome to the 5-Minute Salute. I'm your host, Chris Budihas, and joining me here in the studio is Tony LaVecchia with Military Officers Association of America, better known as MOAA. Tony, how are you?
Thanks, Chris.
Tell us about your cert. First of all, tell us where you're from. Tell us about your time in the military, and then let's talk about MOAA.
Sure thing. Okay, real quick. I live up in Nassau County, Yulee, Florida.
Yep.
I was in the Navy active duty for 30 years as an intelligence officer. Spent a majority of my time in the Indo-Pacific region. Retired in 2018 out of Tokyo, Japan.
Yeah.
Moved back to Honolulu. Worked for a few years for a Fortune 500 company there.
Yeah.
And then started my own business, and I'm also volunteering my time with MOAA, which I hold 2 positions in.
Okay, let's talk about this.
So,
first of all, talk about what is MOAA?
Yeah, MOAA, Military Officers Association of America.
Yeah.
So it's a membership. It's an association of officers, active duty and former, from the 6 uniformed military branches, plus the 2 other uniformed services in the federal government. So that would be the U.S. Public Health Service and the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA.
Yeah.
So
that's great.
That's who it's made up. So we are an organization of officers, but we're not about officers.
Okay.
We support, we advocate on behalf of all military, officer enlisted, active duty, retired, former, family members, surviving spouses,
Okay.
Guard, Reserve, everybody. So we advocate to Congress on behalf of those individuals for pay and benefit reasons.
Okay.
So we're keeping Congress's feet to the fire for the promise.
You're probably busy then.
Yes, for the promises they made, the United States government made to members of the military for the benefits they earned. Promises they made and benefits members of the military earned.
Yeah. It's pretty sad we had to have an organization to do that.
Well, so here's the bottom line. The nation's $35 trillion in debt. Those roosters are going to come, chickens are going to come home to roost one day, and they're going to look for money everywhere. So we just want to make sure that the interests of our membership are represented.
So why should somebody join MOAA then?
Yeah, MOAA. So for those reasons I just mentioned, my bottom line up front when I ask somebody, you interested in joining, or they say, why should I join? I said, well, let's see. If you're fit into that category of membership, so you're an active duty or former officer from one of the uniformed services, I'd ask them, do you like your military retirement?
Yes.
Do you like the benefits that you receive either as a retiree or as a former member from the Department of Defense or the Veterans Administration or from some other entity? And if the answer is yes, I say you need to join MOAA.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I've been a member for a number of years, and the advocacy is gigantic because you're right. When they're looking for those chickens to come back and roost, it seems like personnel are very expensive with the military, but the reality of it, the nation made a promise to take care of them, so they earn those benefits, so they have to be protected. Yeah.
Precisely. So the other reasons is to make your voice heard. So as an American, voting is a constitutional right. But so make your voice heard to your representatives that you voted for on those things. In fact, this past April, on April 17th, MOAA had their annual Advocacy and Action campaign, where 160 representatives from MOAA, 5 from Florida, and I was one of them.
Okay.
And oh, by the way, there's 363,000 members of MOAA nationwide.
Wow.
So 160 out of those 363,000 went to Capitol Hill on April 17th. And we met with, or went into the offices of all the congressional representatives, all 535, the 100 senators and the House of Representatives. And our 2 legislative priorities and another high priority topic for us this year were, one was the Major Richard Starr Act, to get that passed, which is this disparity in pay for those that were forced to medically retire short of 20 years, and where they get a dollar for dollar reduction in retired pay for every dollar that they receive in
Disability.
disability pay. Those two programs are administered by two separate branches of the government, DOD and the Veterans Administration. They are intended for different purposes. So there was some language in there that needs to be correct, so we get that fixed. The other big legislative issue was the Basic Allowance for Housing Restoration Act. A lot of people don't know this, but service members receive basic allowance for housing, it's a separate benefit they receive in their paycheck. It's not a pay, but it's an allowance. However, the DOD taxes that money that's intended for the service members, and it currently is at 5%. So Congress authorized a certain amount for the service member. DOD is only paying 95% of that, and they're using that other 5% for other expenses somewhere. So it's on the backs of the service members that's paying for that. And then the other one, which was not a legislative topic, but this one's really, really great because the topic is TRICARE for Life. It's a health benefit for retirees. So MOAA went out to all 363,000 of its members and said, what are your important priorities? What do you want us to talk to Congress with? And they came back with TRICARE for Life. So they listened to their membership, and they went to Capitol Hill to advocate for that. Now, there's no legislative efforts underway by Congress to reduce that, but we wanted to voice the concerns of the 363,000 members of MOAA that this is a priority for them, and they have a vote every year.
That's great.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's funny, you see these statistics, from World War II beyond, number of veterans in Congress that went substantially down. Now we got a little bit of an uptick.
We do.
But, the fact that you guys are protecting those benefits is, it really, it's impacting the service members or service members day to day, their pocketbook, basically.
Yeah,
So,
sure, like that basic allowance for housing.
Yeah.
Here in Florida, for an E5, sergeant, petty officer second class, depending on what service you're in, that comes out to a couple $100 a month.
Yeah.
For out of pocket because of that 5%.
Yeah.
And that's a big difference. So like I said, we're an organization of officers, but we're not about officers.
That's awesome. Yeah, look out for everybody. Which
That's
is
right.
Very honorable. So, somebody's interested in want to join MOAA. How can they do that?
Yeah, there's lots of ways. The easiest way, and I brought my props here. So, top line says is MOAA National, www.moaa.org.
Yeah.
You go to that webpage and you click the join button on the upper right hand corner, and it takes you down to 3 levels of membership: basic, which is free; premium, which is a paid subscription for 1, 2, or 3 years; or a life member, which is what I joined, and I'm wearing my life member pin here.
Awesome.
And you get lots of benefits out of that. And here's one of them that's great.
Yeah.
The Military Officer Magazine. Okay, this is the July edition. It's jam-packed with information that is at bite-sized levels. You can just take it in quick, and it distills very complicated issues in a very simple and easy way to understand. So you get that with your membership as well. The basic membership, you only get it, I think, for a year.
Yeah.
And then after that, since it's a free membership, you don't get it. But it's a great resource.
Wow.
There's other ways to join. For Nassau County, for example, we have these trifolds that we hand out, and you can either fill it out, mail it in, or you can go online. We have another recruiting way. You go to the barcode. Yeah, all kinds of ways to join.
Well, I appreciate that.
Sure.
I mean, the fact that the basic membership's free.
Yeah.
You got no reason not to join.
Yeah, you just give it road test it for a year, see how you like it. And back to your question, why join? Well, I mean, I said you can make your voice heard, you can give back to the community.
Yeah.
It's a great way to network with other veterans. If you're still working, it's to meet fellow officers. You stay informed of issues that are important to you through the MOAA magazine, through their website, through podcasts and other email shotgun blasts that come out, and you find camaraderie with a purpose.
I love the fact members can give feedback and they'll actually listen and take action
Absolutely.
from the trenches, so to speak.
Yeah, let me dwell on that take action for a moment. So the main mission of MOAA is the advocacy event and speaking and representing to our members of Congress. And they make it so easy with our Legislative Action Center on their homepage. So every member has access to it. You filled out some basic information, your name, where you live, etc., your zip code. So it automatically knows who your congressional representatives are. And there's a priority issue. Let's take the BH Restoration Act, for example. You click on it. It says, write your congressional representative. You click on that button. A letter comes up. You can change it.
Yeah.
You can alter it, personalize it for yourself if you want. If not, you hit the go button and it goes off to your 3 representatives, your 2 senators,
Yeah.
and your congressional representative.
Wow.
And your voice is heard.
That's huge.
It's so easy.
Yeah.
You can do it in 30 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, Tony, thanks for coming in.
I appreciate
Hey,
the
appreciate your
opportunity.
service to the nation.
Thank you. And
Appreciate
yours
your
as
service
well.
to the community. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks again.
Sure. And as a
Yeah.
quick token, from the Florida Council of Chapters,
Oh,
here's
yeah.
your MOAA FCOC
Sir,
coin.
thank you very
And
much.
on my chapter in Nassau County,
Yes, sir.
here's a mug for
Well, I
you.
appreciate
Okay,
it.
sure
I will
thing.
use it every morning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks very
man.
much.
All right.
All right, folks. Hey, take a look at MOAA. You know, sign up. If you're a former military or current military officer, there's no excuse not to sign up for the basic program. And then, you know,
Yeah, Chris, hold that up while you're talking.
Yeah. And then as Tony said, hey, road test it for a year. And then after that, sign up for the paid subscription or just continue to road test it. So, hey, thanks again for Tony for coming in and talking about MOAA. We're going to take all of MOAA's contact information, put it in our show notes, and we're going to push it out to the greater community here. So, again, thanks again for Tony for coming in. Thanks for your service to the military. And folks, live with gratitude and continue to spread the word and connect with us on all forms of social media, more importantly on LinkedIn. See you on the next segment.
Thanks.